Joining me right now is Fox News host Laura Ingraham. Laura, good to see you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Great to see you.
Do you agree with that setup? And if Cruz loses in Indiana, do you think he should drop out of the race?
Well, I'm loath to tell anybody to drop out of the race, but I think these races tend to take on a life and a momentum of their own, and one does sense that this is certainly, if not already having moved in Trump's direction. If he wins tonight, I think it's going to be very difficult for Cruz to continue to win in California, where it looks like in some polls Trump has a pretty decent lead. I mean, I think that when we're looking at New Hampshire, where we're seeing that Trump delegates are being denied key positions, and in Arizona, where Trump won by 22 points, but the at-large delegates overwhelmingly went to Cruz. I think Cruz has shown he can do all that. I mean, he has the party activists, a lot of them really geared up for him. He's done a really good job of organizing them. But that's different from the public perception and what the public, the actual voters, are desiring. As strong as Cruz has been, I mean, to me, it seems that at this point, you're beginning perhaps to spin your wheels. And I think the confrontation with the Trump supporter and then with the kid who's screaming out something at a rally, those are signs that I think this is all beginning to wear on him. And, you know, it happens at the end of a very difficult campaign.
So what do you think about the general election, though? Are you of the mindset that Trump can beat Hillary Clinton, or do you think that there are groups of people like Hispanics, perhaps some women, who will stay home and not vote if Trump is the nominee?
Well, I think both can happen. I mean, I think Trump will be able to, if he runs a smart campaign, and look, he's confounded every expert, most every expert. He's defied most really smart pundits and critics, and he's done this his own way. This has been his campaign that he's run the way he's wanted to run it, unconventional from the beginning, and I imagine there'll be more surprises as this moves on. And I think if the party begins to unify, and there's no sense that it really won't. I mean, there'll be the holdout, never-Trumpers, but I'm talking about the people. If they begin to unify behind Trump, I think you're going to start seeing him going into these unconventional places to spread the good news, as he calls it, of border enforcement, American jobs for American workers, and deregulation that will free up businesses, better trade deals that will bring better jobs back to the United States. I think it's going to be an America movement almost for Trump. That's how I see this. It's going to be difficult, but if anyone can flip states that Romney lost last time, I mean, I think Trump has a decent chance of doing that. Perhaps a state or two in New England. If things go really well for him, perhaps even a state like New York, which hasn't gone Republican, as you know, Maria, since I believe 1984. So it's hard to see what states Ted Cruz will flip if he's the nominee. Perhaps, but I think the best so far with the turnout that we've seen, the best chance is with Donald Trump to flip those states.
Yeah, I think you make a really good point. I was thinking about that just the other day because he did so well in New York that you have to question whether or not he could actually take all of New York during the general.